Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa. What's good, y'all? This is Night Class, DigiGang, J Digital. This time we're gonna kind of react to my first class, mainly because there's something I wanted to do a little different with it, but I didn't have like all the time in the world to do it because there was other life things happening. So make sure doing an Instagram post real quick. Yeah. What you gonna say about it? I don't wanna talk about it. Let's make a bang about it. What's gonna happen when you come home? My freestyle game is pretty weak, I will say. I definitely want to work on that. I feel like I could definitely get it going, but I just gotta put in that work, that time. I could put auto-tune on my live stream if I wanted to. I'll probably end up doing that. Let's try it. Yeah, I like this instrumental. Alright, posting that story, letting it upload, make sure it fully goes out to the peeps, to the DigiGang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. I don't know what sounds better. It's like the music industry prefers higher pitched vocals, but I have a little bit of range. So be either or. I have my head voice. Or a bass. I'm just killing time at this point. We're gonna get into the class here in a second. Thank y'all for those that have joined. I just wanna try out this auto-tune real quick on live, real quick. 'Cause I'm digging these instrumentals. Nice. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. Ooh. Yeah, we all get it. Yeah. I don't like the way OBS makes their. Actually, I do also monitor my own stuff, make sure I'm not too loud and stuff. Should be alright. Actually. Gucci, bro. Gucci. Yeah. Alright. I don't know why I put that up there. Been 5 minutes elapsed. Hop on if y'all gonna join. Yeah. Let's try to do like a thumbnail for this, like design one real quick, but my scratch discs were full, so I didn't get it done. Garbage. Kind of going with the beat, sorry. Alright, let's do it. We're gonna add a VST plugin. And then we're gonna go to the what's it called? Tuner? Auto pitch, there it is. Alright, this next. See? Oh, you can't see my screen yet. Alright. Let me get that going. Y'all can see this auto pitch. Might not be able to do auto tune. What's that one? M equalizer. An auto tune, yeah. I think the auto tune is too much for my CPU. Don't want to risk it. Alright, y'all. Go ahead and turn this music down. Yeah, 5%. I'm more like 1%. So y'all can still hear a little bit of it. Still on monitor only on my mic, but you can still hear it through the desktop audio, and I can hear it myself in here, so that's how that's going. Again, hopefully it's not doubling. It's my main thing. So let me triple check. I don't want to start the class if the audio is all wonky. Yeah, I think we're good. We good, son. Shoo, we gonna get it. All right. Thank you for joining the night class. I would call this a master class, because technically have that qualification, but I don't know that I like the term master, but I'm probably just gonna have to get over it at this point, because it is a master class. It's just a night class, master class, and it's live. But I don't know how many people that do masterclass have a pre-recorded class and or like a it is a live class. I'm not sure which of the two, but all right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna hit play on this. You guys should be able to hear the audio from stuff that I've recorded prior. Every now and then I'm gonna pause and sort of elaborate a little more if there's points that I missed from my prior recording. I might do this periodically, but what I wanted to do for this next class was to fine-tune what I've already gone over into more of a picture sense, like graphs and whatnot, so that I can look at it and be more freeform. with my ideas and my topics. But yeah, so this is how we're gonna end up doing it for this time. So I appreciate you joining. I love y'all. If you're on YouTube, which you should be, you should be able to, like if you're in the app, you should be able to chat. So feel free to hit that chat up. If you're on desktop, it should be fairly visible. Go ahead and hit the chat up to let me know you're here. I want this to be very interactive, and I want to keep this thing going twice a month. As popularity goes up on this class and people receive more value over time, this will eventually turn into a paid event. So get it while you can. Share it with your friends. If anybody that needs just digital branding services at all, or digital marketing services, or just wants to receive personal services like senior photos, wedding photos, couples photos, LGBTQ plus friendly, just let me know. All right, so that's more or less a shameless plug, but that all revolves around what we're going to be going over. So again, I appreciate you for joining. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. There's already music playing, so let me pause that. While this is going, I'm going to do a quick test. I'll fast forward if needed. Testing. What's up, y'all? This is Jay Digital. Tonight is my night class. We're going to go over a few topics. Haven't done it in a while. So forgive me if there's any technical difficulties. Let me know in the chat if there's anything that needs to be addressed. But aside from that, we're going to just get it going. So, yeah, we'll go through everything. I have a slideshow that that I have built for the class, and I'm hoping that the way I've designed it will help people further understand what's going on at any time of which they're popping in. And this is live, by the way, no cuts, no nothing. I might do some cutting later. Definitely going to download this later for micro content. But as of right now, this is where we're sitting at. And as I will do to remind you about questions throughout the whole thing, I'll just say it now. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll take it from there. Actually, with questions, you'll be able to submit them, and then I'll review them at the end. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, so real quick, with that, the questions, you can go to jdigital.us/nightclass to submit your questions to make it the easiest as possible. And the QR code that you find throughout the presentation will take you there. So keep that in mind. Right. I might pop over to the chat to see if there is any activity over there. And if there is, and there's a question, I might take a second read it, and we'll go from there. I don't know if there are like super chats where you can donate or what have you, because if that's a part of the features on this live channel, feel free to do that. It's purely up to you. I'll be eternally grateful if you do end up doing that. But yeah, this is just meant to be really easy going, just one step at a time. We're just gonna keep it going. So yeah, let's go ahead and start the intro for the YouTube, and then go straight in to the presentation. I made this beat, by the way. Yeah. I record, produce, arrange all my own music, like sounds and arrangements. Thank you for joining again. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I gave myself a heart attack. We're here for the live night class, and I do realize that there are some elements that are going over, including myself. My feed is going over top of the text. That's okay. I'm not too worried about all that. We'll just keep it pushing. Because there'll be overlays. Either I do it this way, or I push things to the side and make it all fit, and then we have sizing issues. So I designed it this way specifically, and I think I want to keep it this way. Again, if you have any questions, just visit jdigital.us/nightclass, which we'll go over in a second, for all the information on the night class. So, getting started, what to expect. Hour as in my... I will admit that I haven't been, like, forced to speak for over 30 minutes like this. So you'll see me struggling a little bit probably, because I'm trying to drink water, I'm trying to do this and that and the third. But yeah, that's, if you find it kind of odd in my energy difference from now and then, that's why. So I have a bug in here, man. Get out of here. I don't like you. I don't like you at all. Is to create a fun and interactive atmosphere, providing valuable insights, fostering creativity. Again, feel free to ask any questions and share your thoughts in the YouTube chat or by email. So, or on the night class page. That will actually go straight to my email. So, so go to jdigital.us/nightclass. And my main goal, my main aim is to engage with you in my class, and also FYI, support. I have you in your learning journey, down here be able to when I provide value to you as well. I should probably pause before I unmute, but yeah, anyway, if you didn't catch that, this is me when I recorded prior, and I'm just overlaying it directly onto the screen, so just FYI. Thing I will say, if it didn't leave me already, you know those times where you have thoughts but then they leave? That was just one of those times. But yeah, let's just keep it going. Let's strap in. The reading part of this. So there's a lot of information that we're going to go over. I'm going to be reading off of these slides, and I'm going to have side thoughts as well. So this is basically a template for me to go through the thoughts, and then I will continue to read through and um, and as I read through, if you have questions, again, go ahead, and then also don't forget to take notes. So and whatnot, I'm basically saying everything in this slide, but I'll go ahead and read it. But do know that I'm not just reading it. I am also going to be having some side thoughts as well, and just overall insight. So we'll be going through quite a bit of information. So strap in, get comfy, and get your notes application ready. So whether that be your notepad, whether that be your notes application, like for on my Mac, I have my notes, and then let me actually turn on my D&D as well. 1 second. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so as this is my first time, I'm still trying to get the hang of it. So I will be answering questions at the end. So send them to thejdigital at gmail.com, or go to jdigital.us/nightclass to submit your questions. Thank you for joining the night class. I really do appreciate it. Those that are here. Please enjoy. The agenda for tonight. This is my first one, so I wanted to try to get the best stuff and get a good amount of stuff in there too. I'll fine tune as we go along. I'm gonna have my drinks here, so forgive me if there's sounds that may be unwanted. I'm gonna be eating, I'm gonna be drinking, like that's just gonna be part of this as well. This is live, no edits. You got me. So all right. Excuse me. So first, leadership. Leadership is so important to leaders around the world. I feel like people that are bosses, managers, general managers, CEOs, I feel like they come from a functional ownership standpoint, which is great, but there's a big other part of it that's missing, and we'll go over that. Second, artificial intelligence, AI, something that has come up, and again, I apologize for any background noise. I've got kids in the house and stuff, so forgive me. My fiance is holding that fort down. So artificial intelligence, AI, something that has come to the market recently. Third, just tech in general. Anything that, as far as any sort of tech that relates to my line of work, and just stuff that I'm interested in as well. So we'll go over that, and just things that are helpful just to the general public, whether that be like my clientele, my future clientele, etc., etc. But second is artificial intelligence. That's the laundry. Sorry about that. Second is artificial intelligence. Third, technology. Fourth, app concepts or application concepts. Fifth is the ecosystem of branding, which I'm so excited for that one. And I'm also very excited for the last one. Finally, why quality is important. So before we go too far, I do want to explain who I am, where I come from in regards to relation to J Digital and how I've got here. And one thing I did want to add, but I did forget, that I wanted to add recently, was probably today that I thought about it, is I wanted to outline where my branding went from my name, my legal name, Jonathan Geary, to J Digital, and the journey for that. So I went from, just to give you a brief outline on that, I was going to go into more detail with the slide, but again, I forgot. So the branding journey for me was jonathangeary.me, this jkmg.me, well, it was Keith Malcolm before that, and jkmg.me, and jkmg for a while, and then I was kind of trying to decide whether I wanted to be King of Pro Designs as well, because that was part of me, and then I moved down to what I am now, which is J Digital. I feel like there is some iconic qualities to the name J Digital, so that's why I've changed it, and I've stuck to it, because I really vibe with it. So and just with my qualities and stuff like that, I really dig it. I'm gonna be burping a little bit too because I just ate, so my apologies. And excuse me for any of my noises at all. Like, ideally, I would want this to be a super clean, no noise recording, but that's not where I'm at right now. So if you want me to get a better mic, better equipment, donate, please. Matter of fact, I could put a donation form in the chat. So let me do that. Just take a second. I have a donation form through Stripe.com that I built a little bit ago. So let me, and I also apologize for any lagging. I don't anticipate any lagging, but if there is, I'm so sorry. That's not my intention. And I'll look further into it if it's really bad for the next class. And let me know if there's any lagging as it is too. Okay. Nope, I need custom links. Payment links, sorry. Alright, donation, just copied it, about to bring it over. Paste. Bam. Alright, so yeah, that's the link for donations. Okay, so alright, so now we're gonna read because this is a little bit more information and it's hard to pull off of the brain, like pull it out of the brain at any given moment and capture all the details. So a brief history of my experience. In 2003, intrigued by graphic design, I started learning more or less intrigued about computers. I just wanted to be on the computer. I loved computers. I loved the idea of pressing buttons and doing stuff on a screen, like all that. Just that in general really tickled my fancy. And then it merged into graphic design by 2003. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. I started learning about it using my home computer via graphic design forums. Now this is like a community forum. I would see people designing these graphic tags that they would put as their signatures. They called them signatures or called them tags. And we basically grabbed a subject and then did something artistic and used quite a few times just to kind of figure out what was good design, what was bad design, what are certain things that I could do, how I could achieve it, just expanding my skill set on that front, and whatnot. So that was just purely self-taught and whatnot, but through graphic design forums, it gave me some sort of structure. So that was fun. With the rise of MySpace, that's where I could use technology to personalize my digital presentations using coded languages like HTML and CSS. There was some JavaScript, not very much, but that was part of it. And then, additionally, with my love for anime, I discovered a new passion for creating captivating anime music videos, at least to my ability. And then with my growing expertise, I not only excelled in graphic design, but I also expanded my talents to web design, website development. Website design and website development. Later, using the funds I acquired through a website development job, more like a client job. It was a one-time deal. I bought a DSLR camera and discovered the photography and cinematography realms. While moving through all this experience purely out of my will, I gained experience in how to speak with my clients and many kinds, remaining an accepting representative throughout, like whether that be J Digital or what other brands I had branded myself with, sort of personally. And then considering I've never felt as developed as I do now, and I'm looking to help as many people as I can. As of currently, I think we're all struggling in the current state of the economy, at least in the United States. I'm not exempt to that struggle. But bottom line, like other families, I am in need to make more income for me and my family. So, you know, just my services and just this content in general and just how it is. Um, that's why I'm doing it. So, yeah. On to the next one. What I stand for. Now, these are a few of my standards. There's a lot more detail that goes into my standards, but these are the main pillars here. So creativity, at J Digital, just as me as a client in my business system. Creativity is at the core of everything I do. We believe in pushing boundaries, thinking outside the box, and delivering innovative solutions that capture attention and leave a lasting impact. The one thing I will say is that when I created this slideshow that I'm sharing you, it was more so, not more so, it was at the help of ChatGPT because I had general ideas and I wasn't sure how to fluff it up, but not fluff it up too much, but be informational and educational in that sense. I would let ChatGPT know that what I'm doing and how I want it to sound, and it spit that out. I've informed it ChatGPT about what J Digital is, what the contract looks like, and whatnot, and it holds all that information. And then I basically went through and asked it to um, create these points for me. And it always refers to J Digital as we because it's assuming that it is a business of multiple people, which I plan on doing. It's just right now we're not at that level, unfortunately. There's a lot of things that I kind of missed the target on. So anyway, let's go ahead and keep going. Definitely want to make a worldwide impact over time, of course, down the road. I don't expect it anytime soon, but that is the idea. Excellence. We are committed to delivering excellence in every project. Our attention to detail, meticulous craftsmanship, and unwavering pursuit to quality ensure that the work we produce is of the highest standard. And that is definitely something we do. We try to stay state of the art. As I stand, given the relationship, like clientele relationship changes and just the desires of having things to look a certain way, it's it can get a little hairy there. So just as best we can, basically, is what that means. Put on Do Not Disturb here as well, because it didn't copy over. Okay, so next is collaboration. Collaboration is the heartbeat of our approach. We thrive on working closely with our clients, understanding their vision, and translating it into stunning visual and digital experiences that exceed expectations. We'll get more to that in a second. And then innovation. In a rapidly evolving digital landscape, we embrace technologies and innovation. We constantly seek out the latest trends, tools, and techniques to provide cutting-edge solutions that keep our clients ahead of the curve. That's what I've always done. And I guess it's good that we put the word we instead of I, because I had an issue with that. I usually do have an issue with that when I'm writing for myself. I usually put it in a we context because it's just it's interesting to refer to myself and my qualities as just an I thing, especially when down the road I'll most likely at least have a few employees. So we're gonna keep it'll go in from we to I, so just be aware of that. But J Digital is just me at this moment because of the status of the status of of just my business in general. Reflecting on our journey, there have been instances where we couldn't fully deliver the qualities we stand for. Sometimes clients sought a direction that didn't quite align with our creative vision or expertise. It's important to recognize that achieving excellence, creativity, collaboration, and innovation requires a mutual commitment. Moving forward, I am determined to strengthen our business structure, ensuring better communication and alignment with our clients' needs. This will enable us to consistently deliver the exceptional standards of work that J Digital is known for, while fostering a true partnership and shared sense of achievement. There's a lot there, and I will say that I'm happy to work with anybody. But my goal is to create something that leaves people in awe. It's like, this looks really good. And I want to take the time, the extra time to do that. But sometimes the client work and the just the client's desires and the lack of structure usually is what pushes that out of bay. So it's something that I got to work on. It's as far as setting it up for my clients, it's something I got to work on as far as myself and my standards as well. Because I don't want to just take any client, but I also want to make money. So it's kind of a catch-22. But I'm going to do the best I can. But next, I know that there's you're supposed to have like a window that tells me what's next, but it's not working right now for some reason. All right, questions. Again, send your questions to thejdigital@gmail.com or go to, obviously I did not design that very well. But just go to on your mobile phone, you could even do it then, but jdigital.us/nightclass, that's what that QR code is. It'll shrink and go off to the sides throughout, but yeah. jdigital.us/nightclass, I'll get it there too. And again, we're going to review that at the end. So next is leadership. So in the realm of effective leadership, mastering certain key qualities is paramount for guiding teams towards success. By embodying traits such as clear communication, genuine empathy, adaptable decision-making, and skillful delegation, leaders not only cultivate a collaborative and resilient work environment, but also empower their teams to flourish in the face of challenges and opportunities. It's not always like this, mind you. Some leaders have a really hard time with those qualities, which is why we're going to dive a little deeper into those qualities right now. First and foremost, communication. Effective communication is the cornerstone of successful leadership. It involves conveying ideas clearly, actively listening, not selective listening, but actively listening, and fostering open dialogue with team members. Leaders who communicate well create a supportive and transparent environment, which is important, where everyone understands goals, expectations, and their role in achieving them. Got to make sure everybody's involved. Second, empathy. This is something that I feel like a lot of leaders, a lot of business owners just don't agree with or understand. They just don't care for it. It's like, okay, but we have a job to do, and that phrase "we have a job to do" seems to take away from the quality of someone's life. So like, we have a job to do, and it just takes away from the emotional part of it. Don't care about your feelings, get the job done type deal. So, but that's not the case at all. As far as a leader in like a healthy team, you got to have empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and connect with the emotions and perspectives of others. So putting yourselves in somebody else's shoes. Emotion is a normal business trait for teams, just for business in general. Leaders who demonstrate empathy build strong relationships and trust with their teams. By showing that they genuinely care about their team members' well-being and concerns, leaders create a positive and motivated work environment or atmosphere. And it's very similar to the first communication point. Third, some words I pronounced a little differently. Adaptability. In a rapidly changing business landscape, leaders need to be adaptable and flexible. They should embrace new challenges, adjust strategies when necessary, and guide their teams through transitions. An adaptable leader instills confidence in the team's ability to handle change, fostering resilience and innovation. Things change, always. If you don't have that adaptability, then you're gonna get kind of squished by the stress, and you have to learn how to live with that. There is a little stress that goes with it, and there's ways of managing that, but you gotta make sure that you're using that stress to thicken your skin and have more adaptability and calculating what to do next in times of trial and error. Next, and finally, delegation and empowerment. These are two words, but basically it's within the same thing. One second. All right. Delegation. This comes back to managing your time. Delegation and empowerment. Delegation involves assigning tasks and responsibilities to team members based on their strengths and skills. Empowering team members to take ownership of their work fosters a sense of responsibility, growth, and confidence. Leaders who delegate effectively distribute the workload, develop team capabilities, and create a more productive environment. With any structure, even in films, it's hard for me to talk about cinematography and just making films to people that are in my day-to-day, because it demonstrates a structure that doesn't exist in my market. And it's almost like people expect there not to be structure, because it's like they give up on the idea that you can build structure and still have business flowing efficiently. And it's almost like they need to cater to that chaotic things happen on a whim, which they do, but it's under a controlled circumstance. So, and it requires, like a functional team requires structure. So if you don't have that structure, it doesn't really happen the way that it should. So let's move on here. So I think we just read this, pretty sure, but I'll go over it again. Delegation involves assigning tasks and responsibilities to team members based on their strengths and skills. Empowering team members to take ownership of their work fosters a sense of responsibility, growth, and confidence. Leaders who delegate effectively distribute the workload, develop team capabilities, and create a more productive environment. Yes, I did. So, it's good that we go over it again, though, because it's very important. Structure, unlike what I've experienced in the market, is there is no structure. We're just gonna go do it. No, we have to have structure, or we're not going to get the results that we want. So structure is very important. And then these are vital qualities for several reasons. And as it shows here, excuse me, I was supposed to quit that. It's trying to connect to my SSL. Sorry, let me go back. So these qualities are vital for several reasons: enhanced collaboration, adaptation to change, employee well-being, skill development, delegation, organization, and resilience, or organizational resilience. First, enhanced collaboration. Effective communication and empathy, promote a collaborative environment, encourage diverse perspectives, and creative problem solving. That's a big one. Creative problem solving. That's one that I try to help my clients with, just kind of as like a, here, let me give you a hint real quick. There's another better way to do this. And a lot of the times I'm met with some pushback because they are comfortable. That's where they're comfortable at. That's where they're used to. So almost like they shun any creative problem solving that might help them. Which, bringing back to adaptability, like that's, you gotta have adaptability. You gotta be like, okay, so there is a better way to do this. Let me entertain this for a second and see if it actually does help me, and then adapt to it. Like, that makes everybody's world just a little bit easier, Adaptation to change. Adaptable leaders navigate challenges and changes, ensuring the team remains effective and focused on achieving objectives. Employee well-being. Empathic leaders prioritize their team's well-being, leading to higher satisfaction, lower turnover, and improved morale. This is such an important one right here. This is something that I've dealt with myself that I don't think leaders understand at all. But empathic leaders, when you're a leader, you got to be empathic. You have to make sure that your team is doing well, like even emotionally, stress-wise, because if your team is stressed out, they'll take more time out of their day they'll minus some of their relaxation time and plus or add some more time onto the job just to get the stuff done so it doesn't stress them out. But then you're losing time for yourself, which you're not able to unwind, which even stresses you out even more. So you have stress on stress, and then you have, when the stress gets overwhelming and crazy, it doesn't, that they end up wanting to find another job. So if you have a high turnover and people just don't want to stay around, think about how empathetic you are. Think about how empathetic the environment is. Think about how accepting the environment is. Are you allowing them to take care of their issues without, or take care of their emotional stress without, like, scolding them about it? Like, you gotta let them know that you're here for them, but also let them know that they don't have to hide themselves around here. Like we're all in this together, and we've got to communicate our strengths and our weaknesses. If weaknesses are part of, if emotional distress is part of your weakness, let's figure out how to solve that. Because you're here, you're willing to do the work. Let's make sure you're doing okay. Skill development and delegation, or skill development. So I bolded delegation on accident. Delegation and empowerment contribute to skill development, job satisfaction, and career growth for team members. So skill development, we always want people, whether people that work for me or people just in general, we want everybody to be powerhouses. We want everybody to know how to do everything, if possible. But the other thing you got to think about is, yeah, they could do everything, but do they want to do everything? If you're trying to put I'm trying to figure out a good analogy. Try to put a hamster down a snake hole. They're not going to want to go down there because that's not where they want to be. There are obvious reasons of being a prey. Like that's understandable, but you can't put people where they don't want to be, or they're not going to strive there. And sometimes, a lot of times we sacrifice, right? We go but I need the money now and I can't survive without it. So I gotta bite the bullet, and that makes sense too. I've had to do that plenty of times. But do I want to do it? No. So if I can avoid it, I do. So, and then organizational resilience. Leaders with these qualities foster a resilient team capable of navigating uncertainties, seizing opportunities. Seizing opportunities is great, but don't mistake it as on the whim opportunities. Like, we're not ready for this at all. We don't have any structure around it. We don't have any SOPs, standard of procedure for this. We're just going to go into it just because. Likely, 9 times out of 10, it's going to turn out to be crap. It's not going to be a good production. You got to have a lot of planning on the front end. You got to build the structure. You got to really figure out what it is you're building, so you don't go into it blindsided and trying to make up things as you go. In summary, these qualities of communication, empathy, adaptability, and delegation are crucial for delivering awesome leadership skills. These qualities not only build strong and motivated teams, but also contribute to the overall success and growth of the organization, no matter what organization it is. So, let me see. Let's go ahead and move on. I believe this is the last of the leadership. Again, if you have any questions at any point, go ahead and send an email to jdigital@gmail.com or go to jdigital.us/nightclass, where there's a form that you can fill out. Artificial intelligence. I don't know why I mumbled that. Artificial intelligence. The main artificial intelligence that I feel like is going to benefit a lot of people is ChatGPT, because it was one of those first things, and it could do a lot. What it can't do is generate images for you. It's much more informational based, humanization based. You try to make it like you were chatting with a real person that just knows an infinite amount of things and can manipulate data in certain ways. But yeah, so that's what I use it for. But we'll go ahead and continue. Treat AI, ChatGPT, like one friend that you can chat with. It's not too far off. That's still a phenomenal knowledge point. To give you an idea of what ChatGPT can offer you, here's a list that can give you an idea of what ChatGPT can help you with. And there's the list. Brainstorming sessions, customer surveys, competitor analysis, trend analysis, social listening, data analytics. The list goes on. Dog, like, take advantage of ChatGPT. I don't want people to just excuse it. Oh, AI will go away, just like not Bitcoin, just like NFTs did. This is not the same. This will be able to help you indefinitely, and potentially down the road make it worse for ourselves, which we'll get into. Not only that, but ChatGPT can even take any copy you give it and have it write a copy with a softer tone, or really any tone, for that matter. You can give it a body of text and go, hey, write this more edgy, give this more sass, like that. It can do those things. You also have the option to make a chat thread within ChatGPT to keep specific to an entity or idea and streamline those ideas. Under a thread, ChatGPT can remember details about your business. Like with mine, I have a JDigital chat where I ask it questions about ideas that I have to help fine-tune and create an execution plan under the business. JDigital. Remember, treat ChatGPT like a good friend that is excellent at giving you ideas and writing you copy. Ask it anything. It will do its best. I was going to say, there's a lot of times you'll go back and forth, or at least I will. I'll go back and forth with ChatGPT because I ask it to do something and it outputs kind of iffy, and then even when I do constant revisions, like I revise, 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 revise. At the very end, when I'm getting a little frustrated with it, it will like almost forget all of those revisions and revert back. That's kind of similar to like a software issue. You kind of have to just push through it, unfortunately. So, yeah, keep that in mind as well. Right away, so keep the conversation going and help ChatGPT get you exactly what you need. Sometimes it takes a few tries. So, keep that in mind. Artificial intelligence. How will AI change the industry? An inevitable, commonly concerning fact about AI is that AI can write AI. And AI is required for making robots. That the whole neural things. So there's that. We could be on the cusp of a new generation that could ignite the nightmare out of iRobot. I don't know if you don't know about iRobot, they had made a bunch of robots. They had made robots that were making robots, and they had an integrity malfunction that they didn't know about until the very last second, till it was too late. And I don't want that happening. I don't think anybody does. The AI becomes the common enemy. Tech experts around the world are doing their best to create precautions to prevent such events. But we have to put our trust in those people because we don't have a choice at this point. Otherwise, it's your job to become more educated on ChatGPT or really any other AI to improve your workflow for your companies and the companies around you. It will soon become a tool that integrates with almost every product you use. Be ready. And I'm going to use these slides as like a little break where I can get some water in. Please, even if the live is over, guys, and and you're watching this after it's over, still send me a question. You can still visit the Night Class page. Send me a question. Feel free to. Doesn't need to be right now. Could be later. All right. Now we're getting into technology. Super fun. Let's give some backstory first. In the world of technology, computer operating system has evolved significantly. And this knowledge here that I'm about to give you will help you understand the economy or the world of tech and the devices you see. An operating system is like the boss of your computer or phone. So an operating system. It's like a boss to a computer or a phone. They both have operating systems. Making sure all the apps and programs can work together smoothly. It handles the hardware, manages the resources, and ensures everyone gets their turn to run as far as applications without interfering with each other. It's like a behind-the-scenes manager, making your digital life easier. It all started, operating systems all started, and I guess computers in general, because you can't utilize an operating system without a computer, without a system, physical system, which is a computer. So operating system and computer kind of go hand in hand. It all started with Linux in 1991, an open source system known for flexibility and security. This is one that I don't think most people are going to know what it is. I've dabbled in Linux. Linux is an OS that is pure open source, and it doesn't require any cost to install or buy. You could download it right now off the web and install it onto a computer. But the problem with Linux is that it doesn't have great compatibility with other applications and programs because it lives straight out of the open source community. So everything is on there everything that is on there is free, but may or may not work the way you think it would or properly. You may experience a lot of crashing with Linux, which is understandable because it's an underdeveloped program or an underdeveloped operating system. And it has many different versions. Like there's so many different other operating system names out there that are based off of Linux. And I might surprise you here in a second, but Mac and Apple, the Mac OS, Macintosh OS was built off of a Linux distribution, like a version of Linux. So you'll see some similarities if you dabble in any deep tech when it comes to Linux and Macs. You'll see some similarities. Like in the terminal system, you can use some Linux commands in terminal like you would with Macs, or Macs with Linux and Linux with Macs. Like they're interchangeable sometimes. Like Apple does things a little different, like very differently in comparison to the original version of Linux, but Mac pulled off of Linux because Linux is the one that started it, or no, maybe not started it, but Linux I feel like was something that was a product from the original operating system. I feel like Windows branched off of that and then made their own OS, but then Mac saw some opportunities with Linux and then integrated it. I feel like that might have been what happened. I feel like these dates are a little bit off because I feel like Linux refers. Yeah, so they are a little bit off. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share a graph that actually outlines it a lot better. So, here we have the IBM 40, it's not 407. I flip my 4s and my 7s, but 704. Then IBM develops a series of OSs for its 360 series. Unix is developed as a consequence. Then Unix becomes popular in academic circles and spawns many versions. So AIX, 1 second. So AIX, the and then Apple. Windows 95 is over here. So Apple started sooner and utilized Unix to branch off to. So it's technically a branch of Unix, which ends up being Linux. So Linux is more down here, but Unix is where it started. Apple, then MS-DOS was released by Microsoft. The home computer revolution happens in the 1980s. 1991, Linux is released by Linus Torvalds. And then 1990, Windows dominates the laptop and desktop market. For branding and development reasons, Apple, or just ecosystem and quality reasons, Apple started here, but then had a long streak of development, and they didn't become competitors until this point. So, and then you have Unix and Linux is open source and has been open source. I'm not sure what point it became open source from not being, but I'm pretty sure overall it's open source, and just companies around Unix and Linux have built off their own paid operating systems. So, and of course there's Android, smartphones, yada 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 down here. But this is where all the operating systems actually fall when it comes to what was created when, basically, or what was introduced when. So I wanted to clear that up. To Linux, but not the technologies before it being officially Linux. But yeah, but anyway, it's open source. That means it's free. Open source basically means free. Early developments of Macs from Apple in 1997. Apple's proprietary system offering a visually appealing interface and seamless integration with their ecosystem. It's very important. If you do not, you don't care about an ecosystem of technology, then you do not need to be having to pay that extra dollar for Macs. That's one of the reasons why Apple users continue to buy Apple's products, is because I wanted to clear up one more thing. So Unix started. Unix was the beginning. And I get confused with Unix and Linux. In my head, I think that those were separate, like twins at birth. Like I thought they were like introduced together, like Unix, and then eventually Linux came out, and then Mac. But the reality is, Unix was branched, or Apple was branched off of Unix, and then Linux was made after the fact, kind of with the Unix footnotes, if you will. There is a ecosystem that goes around it that makes life easier in general, in that manner. Finally came Windows in 1985. The arguably inferior OS today, because today, like, it's everywhere. But if Windows users understood what they were missing with Macs, I feel like they would change their mind. Because, just a simple example, when you have a bare bones but new and working OS and hardware with Windows versus Macs and Apple, when you go to restart your Windows computer, it sometimes takes 5 to 10 minutes to get back to operating state. I really think Windows is inferior, and Mac is superior. But Windows, I don't think I'll ever buy another Windows computer ever again, honestly. Microsoft's user-friendly OS that revolutionized personal computing. Yeah, sure it did, because it was on the forefront, and it sold to everybody. Everybody. So that's the current state of business, is Windows computers. Each OS caters to different needs, with Linux dominating servers, Windows powering personal computers. Remember, personal computers, that's keyword, personal. And Mac OS appealing to creatives and professionals. Which, again, I feel like that elevates it. But also, let's keep in mind that Windows you do mostly gaming on. So that also helps too. So, or that is a good quality that Windows computers have. Sorry, floors are creaky in this house. So the gaming, like the personal side of computers, in the gaming aspect, yeah, to get Windows, because a lot of the games out there were developed for Windows, and sometimes only for Windows. Like, just how it was. So, in the gaming industry, I feel like I could agree with that. But Mac OS is becoming more available to games. They have an arcade program now. So it's just to each their own, But I feel like Mac is the superior product. As technology continues to progress, these systems will shape the future of computing, pushing the boundaries of innovation. All right. Now regarding tech, let's dive into automation. Now that we have the back information about the operating system, let's dive into automation. It's not AI, but automation is a different deal. Automating computer tasks can save you time and effort, regardless of the operating system you're using. If you're using Linux, you can harness the power of shell scripting with Bash to automate repetitive tasks like file management, backups, and system maintenance. For instance, you can use Bash scripts to schedule automatic backups of important files, keeping your data safe without manual intervention. Linux users also benefit from Python, a versatile programming language, to create custom automation solutions for various tasks, such as web scraping, which may be illegal on some websites. Remember to review the privacy policy and the terms of use before doing any web scraping. Data processing, and even building simple AI applications. On Windows, you can utilize PowerShell, a scripting language with extensive system integration capabilities. With PowerShell, you can automate tasks like software installation, registry edits, and network configurations. It provides a robust framework for managing tasks remotely and automating repetitive administrative chores, making life easier for system administrators. Moreover, Windows users can rely on AutoHotkey, a user-friendly scripting language to create custom hotkeys, macros, and automated interactions with applications, streamlining everyday computer usage. And as a side note, you can ask ChatGPT to help you write these scripts. I've written a few PowerShell scripts with ChatGPT that worked flawlessly. So, and it could teach you how to code in certain ways with these languages. And even with AppleScript, Mac users can leverage AppleScript, a native scripting language, to automate tasks across various macOS applications. AppleScript enables automation of tasks like renaming multiple files, extracting data from spreadsheets, and automating workflows in apps like iTunes and Mail. Additionally, macOS users could benefit from Automator, a visual automation tool to build custom workflows with a drag-and-drop interface. It's not as drag-and-drop as you think, but it's still drag-and-drop. And when you do the drag-and-drop capabilities, they're not that great. I would recommend that you stick with a language like AppleScript. You'll get a lot more done that way, a lot more capabilities. Automator allows for automating complex tasks and chaining together predefined actions, helping users save time and be more productive. And do keep in mind, you can use AppleScript within Automator. So keep that in mind. In summary, automation is accessible on all major operating systems. By using scripting languages and specialized applications, users can simplify their workflow, increase productivity, and focus on what matters most. And that's what I love. That part right there, that is why I automate my programs, because it gives me and allows me to not only be better at my job, also it gives me more time to do other things. So I love it. I love automation. So great. Now, one other bit of emphasis I want to bring to your attention is keyboarding. Let me take a drink, because my throat. I haven't done talk like this in a minute. But here we are. So just one second. All right. How y'all doing out there? So, say something. Put it in the chat. Or go to jdigital.us/nightclass. Or send me an email. That QR code sends you to the night class page where you can submit a question. All right. Let's see here. I have been using computers and learning how to... went a little too fast. Went a little too far. If you don't know how to type over 30 words per minute, you're missing out on a skill that could help you conquer tech space simply by knowing how to quickly type. or type quickly. I recommend learning how to type for free at typingstudy.com. That's one that is very similar to how I used to learn how to type, so I feel like it would do a really good job. I have been using computers and learning how to be efficient with computers, since around the year 2003. It gives me over 20 years of experience just with knowing how to use computers. I've always had a love for computers and art. With those two loves molding together, I now have the skills to help those with digitizing their ideas. I use automation in all my workflows as it makes me extremely efficient. It is my priority to make all my processes as passive and efficient as possible without removing the value in the process. I want to be able to focus on the quality of all my works while the mundane is handled by tech. As JDigital, I also offer automation configurations as a service. So these skills that seem natural and exciting to me have turned into a way for me to help others and get paid in the process. The perfect potion. So let me know if you need any help with like automation and just, making your processes just better overall. Questions again, and just general tech. If you want, or if you have an issue with your computer and you need someone to look at it, yada yada yada, I can do that too. I've spent a lot of time with not only Windows computers. I was a Windows user for like 10 years, and then I switched over to Mac, and I've been a Mac ever since. But it doesn't mean I've forgotten everything about Windows. So if you need some help figuring out what's going on with your computer, let me know. Questions? Submit a question if you have one. Alright, app concepts. During my journey, so application concepts, like apps for like your phone, for your computer, for this, for that. During my journey of learning my skills, I've always had a knack for problem solving. During daydreaming, like I would sit there and just think about how, what problems I have and how I can solve them. This has led to me to find solutions to problems consistently. Given my skill set, I'm able to think about the practicality of the process in building an application that would help myself and others. With that, I have a ton of information on figuring out how an application is even worth pursuing in the first place. If you have an application concept that you may just need consulting on, let me know. One example of this is my project Vehicle Coast, found on Kickstarter. Go to tinyurl.com/Vago, or you can go to my my link tree. It's on there as well. So the link tree is SM for social media, sm.jdigital.us. It'll be right there. Whether I get funding on that project is not an issue. When I plan to get more funding, it's more or less for helping the process quicken. So there is that's more or less why. And I also just wanted to feel out what Kickstarter and just funding feels like. I've gotten a little taste so far, but definitely I want to continue that route and see if I'm able to get funding, whether it be on Vehicle Ghost or another project. But I still plan on developing these projects. I'm working on a back end structure that will help me build all my projects quickly. It's called WebLab, and I'm gonna use that for my clientele as well. It'll have functions like booking, a booking functionality. It'll have like a blog functionality. It'll have a portfolio functionality, and it'll all be available under me. But the pricing is going to stay relatively the same as far as how much those are. But all right, so let's move on. Stay in the loop on these projects in the future by joining the newsletter. I will post when I finish with a project like that. I will be posting or putting an email blast on my newsletter for those application ideas when they are complete, and I'll be posting them there. So go to jdigital.us to sign up for that newsletter. To help those that have these concepts like I do, like concept ideas, today's digital age, accessing data on the internet has become an integral part of our lives. There are several methods to achieve this, achieve an app, primarily through web browsers and mobile apps for both desktop and mobile devices. Each approach offers unique advantages and is developed using specific coding languages to ensure seamless user experience. Let's explore those different ways of accessing data on the internet and the programming languages commonly employed for each method, just in case you wanted to, go down the custom route like I did. Web browsers, desktop. On a desktop computer, you can access data on the internet using web browsers like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, or Safari. Browsers are primarily built using languages such as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML structures the content of the web pages, CSS styles the layout and the appearance. JavaScript adds interactivity, functionality, making websites dynamic and responsive. Mobile web browsers such as Chrome, Safari, and Firefox for mobile offer similar functionality on their desktop counterparts. They also use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to render web pages on mobile devices, allowing you to access a wide range of websites, web applications, and online services. Mobile apps. Apps are specific software applications designed for mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. There are also apps on Macintoshes as well, or Mac OS. They are developed using various programming languages depending on the platform. For Android apps, the primary programming language is Java or Kotlin. iOS apps, on the other hand, are typically built using Swift or Objective-C. These languages allow developers to create native apps that can access the internet, communicate with servers, and provide interactive and personalized experiences. Desktop applications. Similar to mobile apps, desktop applications are software programs installed on your desktop or laptop computer. They can be developed using a variety of programming languages. For Windows applications, languages like C, I think that's C squared, or C++ are commonly used, or C sharp. No. I think it's just referred to as C, I'm pretty sure. There's a lot of different C's out there. So I know what that, I know it's a hashtag or a pound, but as far as the actual name, C, C++ are commonly used. And if it's not obvious already, I don't code. It's C sharp. I just looked it up. I made myself laugh there. With C yet. I'd like to, but I don't code with C yet. For macOS applications, developers often using Swift, Objective-C, or even C++. So it looks like C++ is jointly used in both Windows and Mac, which is good to know. Java is another cross-platform language used to develop applications that can run both on Windows and Mac. These desktop applications may not require internet access to function, but many of them still rely on internet to provide real-time data or updates. So, and from what I understand, Java, you have to install like a prior Java package to be able to run Java even. So I feel like that is interesting. I don't like Java. Alright. Each approach and the associated coding languages have its advantages. Browsers offer a wide range of content and are great for quickly accessing information from various resources using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Mobile apps provide a more focused and user-friendly experience for specific tasks, often with an additional offline functionality. Using Java, Kotlin, Swift, or Objective-C. Desktop applications can be more powerful and feature-rich, suitable for complex tasks and productivity-related activities. Using C, C++, Swift, Objective-C, Java, and others. In summary, the choice of accessing data on the internet through web browsers, mobile apps, or desktop applications depends on your needs, preferences, and the type of content or services you want to access, with developers using specific coding languages to build these different software solutions. That's the gist. Like that's a lot of tech information there, but that'll help you understand fully like what's happening in the tech world, how to access it, how to build it. It's I feel like it's useful information. So there you go. Now, the ecosystem of branding. We're getting closer to the end there, guys. The ecosystem for branding. Creating a strong digital branding ecosystem is essential for establishing a company's identity and making a lasting impression in the business world. This is stuff that I do, guys. This is something that I do. I build these things for my clients so that they can better function in their world of their business. I'll do a redesign if I feel it's necessary. I'll build a website if that's what they need, or if that's even just what they want. If they want to have a functional website, let's go. Let's do it. Think of branding like a character in a cartoon. For example, like The Simpsons, Bart, Homer, Marge. All of them are brands. They have standards and rules for their characters to be able to express them correctly within The Simpsons. You wouldn't have Bart without Homer, and you wouldn't have Homer without Bart, and Homer wouldn't be Homer if he acted like Marge. You know what I mean? Like he'd be Marge. You know what I mean? So like with that, you gotta think about it like that. You gotta think about your brand has characteristics and has standards in a certain fashion, a certain way, and that's up to you on how you want it to be outlined. Let's see. Here are some copy outlining the key elements. Every company needs to fully brand their business. So if you are a business, you have a brand, okay? If you are providing a service to someone, whether that be building something for them, something physical, or something purely consulting based, like you could do that too. Every single business needs a brand. And this is why. You need a logo, you need website, branding colors, and more, and etc. We're going to go into them. The well-designed logo serves as the visual centerpiece of a company's brand. Now, it does not just need to be one logo, but it could be multiple, but it has to all be cohesive. It represents the business's values, personality, and mission. The logo should be unique, memorable, and scalable for use across various digital platforms, including websites, social media profiles, and marketing materials. A website, a professional and user-friendly website is crucial. It's a crucial digital asset for any business, like I just said. It acts as the virtual storefront, showcasing products, services, and important information. The website's design should align with the brand's visual identity and ensures a seamless user experience. Brand colors and typography. Consistent use of brand colors and typography across all digital channels reinforces brand recognition. So when you have multiple social media accounts and they all look different, it's not exactly cohesive to your brand. You can do that, but you got to remember and think about the recognition. Anybody pops up into any of your page, brand's personality, establish and optimize the profiles on major social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. with cohesive branding elements. Crucial. It's a crucial digital asset for any business, like I just said. It acts as the virtual storefront, showcasing products, services, and important information. The website's design should align with the brand's visual identity and ensures a seamless user experience. Brand colors and typography. Consistent use of brand colors and typography across all digital channels reinforces brand recognition. So when you have multiple social media accounts and they all look different, it's not exactly cohesive to your brand. You can do that, but you got to remember and think about the recognition. Anybody pops up into any of your page, brand's personality, establish and optimize the profiles. So that does jump around a little bit. So I'm going to go over it again since it did kind of skip around. Brand colors and typography. Consistent use of brand colors, typography. Of course, it's cut off, but channels reinforce brand recognition. Define a color palette. Select appropriate branding colors that resonate with your brand's personality and target audience. That's very important. Even when two brands are trying to collaborate with each other, let's say me as J Digital decided that collaborating or working with Nike was a good idea. If I didn't have a branding guide with these elements, then and they did, I would be playing catch up, or I would lose that gig if I didn't have that. So it makes it seamless for those collaborative moments to occur. So we'll go ahead and continue on. It's a crucial digital asset for any business, like I on Twitter, LinkedIn, etc., with cohesive branding elements. Didn't I just say this? Content strategies. A well-defined content strategy ensures that the brand's messaging remains consistent and aligned with its values. Gotta have that structure. You gotta have that strategy. Create valuable and relevant content, including blog posts, articles, videos, and infographics. Have a class like I'm doing. These things are very important to establish expertise and connect with the target audience. That is why I'm doing this. Brand voice and tone. Consistency in the brand's voice and tone across all communication channels fosters authenticity and builds trust. This also needs to be cohesive. And this could be anything. My voice and my tone is edgy, authoritative, and but friendly and helpful. Like it's a weird mixture. But that's what it is. So brand voice and tone. Define a brand voice that reflects with the company's personality, values, and how it interacts with its customers. Again, it all comes to defining what your brand is. To build your business structure and get it flowing. And as you continue to run through your business, if you have all these things in line, you'll be able to handle things left and right that normally would be a headache to figure out outside of what you're already doing. So build that structure, take that time, make these things. We'll go into why each one is important. Email marketing templates. Email marketing remains a vital channel for reaching out to customers. Design professional email templates with brand elements to maintain cohesive appearance in marketing campaigns and communication. Branding guide. Create a comprehensive brand guidelines that outline how the brand elements should be used consistently. These guidelines serve as a reference for internal and external stakeholders to maintain a unified brand identity. Visual content assets. Apart from the logo, design visual assets like icons, illustrations, and image templates that complement the brand's personality and enhance its visual appeal. Make those templates, guys. Business cards and letterheads. Traditional stationery items like business cards, letterheads should feature a brand's logo, colors, and typography, establishing a professional image and offline interactions. Digital advertising materials. Develop digital advertising materials such as banner ads, social media graphics that align with the brand's identity to promote products or services online. Do your ads. All of which, like yours, can build a strong and consistent brand identity that resonates with their audience and positions them as a credible entity in the business world. Remember, your world is The Simpsons. Pick which character you want and fit those values and make these assets. It'll make it a lot better for you, I promise. The branding guide, let me go back to the branding guide. The branding guide is essential for any business as it provides a cohesive framework for maintaining consistent visual elements such as logos, colors, typography across all communication channels. It enhances professionalism, guides marketing and design teams to ensure adaptability to different platforms. Moreover, the branding guide streamlines collaboration with other companies, supports growth, and protects the brand from misuse and misrepresentation, reflecting its core values and leaving a lasting impression on customers and stakeholders. Mic drop. Now, looks like we had a little dip there. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I've been noticing that there is dips in this recording, and there have been dips in my current live stream and recording. So it's not perfect. It never will be, I don't think. But yeah, we're just gonna keep it pushing as best we can and just keep it going. That. If you don't get anything out of this live class, this is why I left this for last. Need to get this out of here. Okay? Alright. Sorry, I'm checking because we had a little dip there. It was telling me that there was no data for some reason. So, yeah, let's just keep it going. But please listen closely and try to understand what this is. I've tried to outline it the best I can, but quality is one of those things people don't quite understand why it's important to take time and or spend the money on quality and just knowing what looks good, what it is. So just pay attention to this last point that we're going to make before the class ends. Why quality is important. Crafting a high-quality digital presence is critical for any company's success. And surprisingly, many techniques across digital arts share common principles. Let's explore how design fundamentals like breathing room or padding and composition are essential in photography, videography, and design, contributing to professionalism and enhancing the user experience. User experience doesn't just happen in websites, it happens everywhere. In photography, breathing room refers to giving the subject space within the frame, avoiding clutter and allowing the subject to shine. Similarly, in design, ample white space or padding around the element creates visual balance and emphasis on key content. In typography, leading to a clean and sophisticated look. And it all comes down to how you want it to look. It really does. How your brand is. But these are fundamental qualities that you got to make sure that you hit. This attention to composition enhances the overall user experience, enabling users to navigate, comprehend information effortlessly. That's a big word. Effortlessly. You got to make sure that even in your experience, when you're looking at your own content, you got to put yourself in their shoes. Say, is this something that I would even gravitate towards? And if not, change it up. Videography also benefits from these design principles, as well-composed shots with balanced negative space draw attention to the subject, contributing to the video's overall impact. Just like in photography, applying these techniques in your videography ensures that a polished and engaging presentation, captivating audiences, and reinforcing the brand's professionalism. And not only that, usually in videography you have at least like for music videos or other things that aren't exactly like a presentation per se, or like a film where you don't have any like text on the screen. But when you do have text on the screen, you got to make sure it looks good. Like titles, for example. If your titles look great, it brings forward your attention to professionalism, and will push you further because more people like the way it looks. If they don't like the way it looks, then they'll pull away from it, and then you lose out on that engagement. All right. When building a digital presence, let's see. This might be a duplicated page real quick. When building a digital presence, companies must recognize the importance of hiring skilled professionals who understand these design fundamentals across different digital arts. State-of-the-art look requires expertise in photography, videography, and design, as well as a keen eye for details and aesthetics. The digital ecosystem serves as a face of the company, and a well-executed design can either make or break a business, which is crazy. God, this is important. Consistency in design elements and cohesive brand identity instill confidence in customers and stakeholders, leaving a lasting impression and building a strong brand reputation. In summary, emphasizing design fundamentals like breathing room and composition throughout photography, videography, and design is crucial for achieving professionalism and enhancing user experience. Hiring experienced professionals like myself, J Digital, who can implement these techniques with a result in state-of-the-art digital presence, contributing significantly to the history and success of a company or business. A well-crafted design can ultimately be the difference between making a powerful impact or fading into obscurity in today's competitive business landscape. Now, this quality is a two-way street, guys. So, and like standards, when you have qualities, or when I'm working with a client that's about to make a business out of what they want to do, or they're already in their business and they have these qualities, and they have to understand that where I'm coming from is from a place of experience. Like, I've gone through this already. I've been looking at designs. I've been looking at X, Y, Z. But you're looking at ABC, and I'm already down here at X, Y, Z. You gotta, like, trust has to be instilled in me, and how I'm able to decode what you're saying. And you have to put trust in yourself. You have to put trust into the process. You gotta keep it going. Again, if you have any questions about any of that, go ahead and email me at thejdigital@gmail.com, or go to jdigital.us/nightclass. Or snag that QR code. It'll send you there too. Now, with the conclusion of the night class, I want to make sure that everybody knows what I can do. Because if you need one of these things, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. I'm excited to start onboarding new clients. And I really want to make sure that I can continue to make some more money. Everybody likes more money. You like more money. If you got a raise today, you'd be ecstatic. I'm trying to get that raise, but I'm putting all this extra work where I don't make money to make money. Now let's cover all the services that J Digital can help you with. Like, as far as the popular services that could do a lot more than what I just outlined here, mind you. But these are the more popular ones. In graphic design, I'm going to do logo design, branding, marketing materials, social media graphics, packaging design, print, and digital advertisements. Like, I can do all those things. And website design and development, custom website design, responsive web development, e-commerce website, content management systems. I can make custom content management systems where I can work with other content management systems like WordPress, Shopify, etc., Squarespace. Landing pages. It's for your campaigns, marketing campaigns. I can do those too. Photography and videography. We put those together. So portraits, headshots, product photography, event coverage, real estate photography, and lifestyle photography. Lifestyle is a little bit confusing, so let's look at that. Creating engaging videos that tell stories and connect with an audience emotionally. So there's that. Motion, graphics, and animation. Motion graphic videos, designing visually dynamic anime videos for marketing and promotions. Explainer videos, creating informative, captivating animated videos that explain products or services. Logo animation. Just logo animation alone will elevate your business. Adding motion and a flair to logos for eye-catching brands and intros and outros, or just general branding. Even for social media. Animated social media content and visual effects. Automation and music production. Automation is nuts, so we're moving into music production as well. Business process automation. There's always a point where you could change a tedious process as long as you take the time and the money to develop a process for it. You develop a process and have a process that takes 2 hours to do into 10 seconds. If you have anything like that, you gotta hit me up. I can help you with it. Email automation. Setting up automated email sequences for targeted and personalized communication. Music composition, production, sound design. Let's talk about sound design real quick. Adding custom sound effects and audio enhancements to elevate the overall media experience. Let's say you have a video, and the sounds in that video don't quite sell the viewer. Sound design is meant to sell the viewer even further. Then voiceovers, of course. These services represent some of the most popular sought-after offerings from Jade Digital, each designed to enhance businesses and individuals' visual presence, efficiency, and engagement. If you need any of these things, please let me know. Because I'm dedicated at this point to really get you what you need and then get paid for it, because that's what we all need. Conclusion. I was happy to take you on this journey through the realms of artificial intelligence, technology, app concept, the ecosystem, our branding, the paramount significance of quality and leadership. Each topic has shed light on how these vital elements intertwine and shape the modern business and creative endeavors. Embracing innovation and honing the craft of quality not only empowers us to stand out in the bustling digital landscape, but also enables us to forge meaningful connections with our audience. As we continue to explore the limitless possibilities that technology and creativity offer, let us remember that innovation is the driving force. Sometimes we think that we can reach a perfect view, but it really just depends on the eye of the beholder. Not your eye, but the eye of the person looking at what you make. Embrace the power of AI and tech. Harness the potential of unique app concepts, and build a cohesive ecosystem branding, and never compromise on the pursuit of quality. I'll add another one in there, because leadership is something that I added to the class a little late, so it's not in these paragraphs. But leadership, so you can make sure that your team is being fed emotionally, so that they can stay with you for a long time. May these insights propel you forward on your journey, inspiring you to dream bigger, create bolder, and make an indelible mark on the world of business and design. Together, let us craft a future that is both visionary, purposeful, as we at Jade Digital seek to illuminate and elevate the possibilities that lie ahead. Like I said, I want to service the world eventually. I really do. Contact to hire at hello@jdigital.us. Time for questions. Made it. We're at the end. Didn't have any interaction, but that's okay. This is my first class. Alrighty, so there is one more topic that I kind of wanted to go over. brought some inspiration into the mix as far as just another topic that I feel like is good to cover for people just to understand and just kind of see. I'm going to switch this up though. Let me just do here. Yeah, so it's when I'm working as a photographer, I will a lot of times when I haven't had a photography gig for a while, I'll do a free gig, and especially in this case, but even when you're being paid, you like this is more about the person receiving the photos than say the person that's taking the photos. It always, or even if say I'm doing anything for you, if you're sharing it to social media or you're about to post it, it is very it's very polite, but also very helpful for the creator to have them be tagged or added to the bottom of the description of the post or caption. It's it helps in many different ways, and it allows, say, the creator, and myself in this case, it helps me it helps me to be more like it gives me life almost. Like I become grateful, I'm very thankful, I want to work with you again versus me more or less wanting or you wanting to work with me. I want to work with you in that case. So when able to more or less also move the relationship, the business relationship in further, definitely at the creative tag, the creatives that you're hiring or doing work with or collaborating with. It doesn't really matter what it is. Just make sure you give them credit, because a lot of times I I just feel like that is something that is missed and that needs to be thought of a little more. But I'd look to see if we had any questions. I see that I have one concurrent viewer on the live. I do appreciate it if you are still here by the time the live catches up. If you have a question, but if you don't, please put something in the chat letting me know that you are here still and that you either are, just say hi or say thanks or say something, so that I know that you made it to the end, and then I'll do a free service for you at that point. Yeah, I'm not doing a whole lot of advertising for this night class. I'm just seeing what the organic reach is. I'll do advertisements for other things, but until this becomes a more regular thing, it's gonna be free. It's gonna be available. It's gonna be out. I'm hoping that by October 1st, it has enough going for it that I can actually have a pay like a have it be a paid event. So, yeah. But I'm going to more or less wait for a second here for people to either join or till my live preview gets to the good ending point. So, yeah. Thank you for joining. Social media, not social media, SM, which is social media, that's the abbreviation, sm.jdigital.us. And yeah, so let me know if you need any help with anything. I'm here for you. I'm just gonna look at the very end of this video real quick.
Reload.
Yes, it's time for questions, but let's just do Finn. There we go. Yeah, I'm still here, but this is gonna be up, and I'm gonna play some music. I'm gonna let the live finish out before I go to terminate it. That's why. That's weird. I was wondering why I couldn't mute my audio at one point when I was testing, and I understand why now.